Hello, welcome. Nerd Sheets Podcast with Mr. Nick. How are you, Nick?
What's up? What's up?
Oh, man. So, since we last saw each other, I binge watched all of The Mandalorian Season 1.
I'm actually very proud of you of that.
And
I thought you were going to say one episode, and then when you told me, yeah, I'm caught up, I'm like, what?
No, it was a nice, quick 8 episodes, and then I saw the new episode
From Friday.
from this past Friday. Holy crap, that ending.
Right?
Bro.
Wait, for which one? So for the season 1 or the one ending for
No, the
this
ending
new
for
episode?
Season 2's Episode 1.
Yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah, so anything we talk about here is pretty much going to be a spoiler.
Oh
So
my God. Boba Fett is alive. The thing that everyone was hoping for when they first heard of the Mandalorian series.
But we knew from the start, from watching the movies, no, you never see him actually dead. So, like, we knew.
Well, he got
At least
swallowed by a big...
I mean, Mandalorian did it in the episode too.
Yeah, and then he got out, which is why I think they did that.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense to what happened to Boba Fett. So it made sense. Yeah. When it kind of like set up, as soon as I seen that Mandalorian was going to get eaten, I was like, oh, that Boba Fett's alive. Like, this isn't like, I was like, it was kind of...
But it was good. And seeing Boba Fett's armor earlier in them, so on the other guy.
Did you get like, oh man, is it him? I knew it wasn't him. Yeah, because I think we watched so many shows and movies that were like, yeah, that wouldn't make sense if it was him right away.
Yeah, even I was like, that's not him at all.
No, we know it wasn't him. I like the actor.
Oh yeah, actor's really fun. I really like him. He's a great actor. He got that badass kind of look and still with that like charm and swag and his accent and all that. He's a really good actor. He played the character well. So the actor that's playing Boba Fett, the reason everyone knew it was Boba Fett
because this is the original actor.
No, it's not the original actor.
I thought it was. Are you sure?
I am sure.
I didn't look it up, but I thought that was the original actor.
No.
I feel like Nettie told me it was.
It is not.
Sorry, Nettie, if I made you a liar. But I swear he told me that it was.
That is the actor who played Jango Fett in the prequels.
That's what it was.
Yes.
So it looks like Boba Fett looks like his father.
So essentially, in the prequels, we saw Jango Fett and we saw his son as a little kid, Boba Fett. And so obviously his son, older, would look like his dad.
Yeah. I was like, that's kind of stupid that me thinking it was the original actor, actually. Because he's
no,
very old
exactly,
right now. He's very, well, that was stupid of me.
But, no, it was really cool to see him. Really cool.
Like, I liked the episode. The episode was really good. I'm more excited just, like, what's coming for the rest of the season. I think that's what it is.
Since I just binge watched the first season, let's just recap everything that I remember.
That I remember too, because I haven't watched it in a while.
So it started off, I thought it started off great. The first episode. Yeah. Where at the end of the first episode, they reveal, the 50-year-old that he's bounty hunting is actually this child.
Like a child, yeah.
That's part of the Yoda's race or whatever the hell.
Yeah, I don't like that people say it's Baby Yoda because it's not Yoda.
It's not Yoda.
It's not Yoda. But people say...
Clearly not Yoda.
No, but that's what I mean. I don't like that. That people are like, oh, it's Baby Yoda. I'm like, babe, it's not Yoda. Yoda's dead.
They call him Baby Yoda child. As a cute thing.
No, I know, but it's the child.
No, yeah, they call him the child.
The child. That's his name.
Maybe he'll get an actual name.
I know. That's what I was hoping. That's one of the things I want for the season.
Yeah, but because this show, I was trying to figure out the timeline. So this takes place after
Empire.
After
the Death
first
Star's gone.
6 movies.
Yeah, after the Death Star's gone.
But before the new ones.
Yes, before the new series. Yes.
Because
before Rey and Finn and all of them.
Okay, because I did hear in one of the episodes in season 1, someone say, "Oh no, this was in season 2's episode 1."
Yeah, what?
Where the fake Boba Fett was talking about, when the Death Star blew up, the second Death Star.
Yeah, because there
was 2 in the original. It's been a long time since I've seen the original.
Now you're making
trilogy.
me rethink things. He didn't say anything about 2.
I could have sworn he said when the second Death. So that's why I was like, wait, when is this?
I don't think he said 2.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Because the second Death Star wasn't really a Death Star.
This video will be posted on YouTube.
Please comment.
Comment and correct.
Because I'm not great. I'm good with Star Wars history, but I'm not like gonna say that I'm like
that's what people need to know about us. We're huge comic book guys, and we love the comic book movies and the MCU and the DC stuff and the TV shows.
That stuff will get right pretty good. But
and Kingdom Hearts we're all over.
We're all over.
But we're not the biggest Star Wars.
Like I love Star Wars, but it's definitely not my like. I'm not like I'll watch it. I'll sit and watch a movie, but I won't like.
We're not one of those guys that you could sit down with you and just tell you the entire history.
Yeah,
of Star Wars.
like that. Yeah, I can't do that.
We're casual fans of Star Wars. We like the movies. We like the Mandalorian show. And did you watch the cartoon, the Clone Wars?
Hell yeah.
And
the Clone Wars and Rebels I watched.
Because Rebels is really hot right now.
That's because the Clone Wars is finally over, so people are coming back and watching Rebels. Like me, after Clone Wars technically finished, before they came up with that last season this past year, I watched Rebels already. Yeah. And
see, Nick is a step further than me. Yeah. I've never watched the shows.
Yeah, I watched the cartoons. Whatever comes out, I pretty much try to watch right away.
Yeah. But some people go to another level and read the novels.
Like the novel, I don't do that. That's where I don't. That's where I stop. Is like the novels. I read some comic books.
I have one.
The Darth Vader one.
The Darth Vader. Yeah, because issue number 1. Because it was a dope cover. It was the first issue. I was like, all right, let me grab this at a good price, and I still have it. It's pretty nice. I was gonna gift it to my friend Dave, who I play volleyball with. You remember Dave?
Yes.
Yep, he's a big Star Wars guy.
He's a big Star Wars guy, yes. I remember talking about that, I think, with all of us.
Yeah, I would love to have him on. He can be our resident Star Wars expert. Because he's big into Star Wars. But I watched season 1. I loved it. Little baby Yoda is what I'm going to call him. I don't care what you say, Nick. Little baby Yoda is super cute, had his moments, and season 1 was good, honestly. I don't see a weak episode in it.
I think it's also because you have someone like Jon Favreau going over everything.
Jon Favreau does most of the writing.
Yeah, and like
they have a fresh director for almost each episode.
Did you watch on Disney Plus? Did you watch the extras thing?
No, I haven't watched.
Watch it. It's really
good. That's the next time I watch it because I'm a big behind the scenes guy. I love that stuff.
You would like it a lot because they do go into how they like did some of the story, what they like figured, like what they like behind the visual effects, behind the story, and they actually have all the directors sitting down like this and talk. It's pretty cool.
I thought it was cool. One of the episodes, I forgot which one, but Bryce Dallas Howard directed it.
Yeah, he directed a couple. No, wait, which one?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh, I thought that was the one with the cowboy hat. He has a cowboy hat.
No, Bryce Dallas Howard played Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire. Yeah. And I think she's in the Jurassic World movies, too.
Yeah, she's like the main character, one of the main characters next to Chris Pratt.
She directed one of the episodes of Mandalorian. I thought it
was like 2 she did. One or 2.
She might have did 2, but
I feel like some of them did 2 or 3.
Yeah,
one,
but
a couple did 1.
It was really good. And there's I can't think of a weak episode.
What do you think about the Bill Burr episode?
I love
Wasn't that such a good... Wasn't it like he was funny at times but then also serious at others, which I thought was great?
He was funny. He was serious. He was a dick. He made you not like him, which is the point of the character.
I actually liked him as the character, though.
No, I liked him as the character, but I'm saying like as an actor, he did his job
as
in
to
making
be the
you not like him.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this guy is kind of a dick.
I feel like Bill Burr is such an underappreciated actor.
Because I still got to see The King of Staten Island.
Yeah, I do too. And we should do like a movie. We should watch that together, actually.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Actually, I was thinking that we do like movie. We just watch the movie live.
Imagine just sitting here for 2.5 hours. I'd be like this.
Yeah, do our own commentary on DVDs. Let us know what you think. But I love Bill Burr. He's favorite working comedian right now. Like, to me, he's the top guy right now.
You might like his podcast, too, if you listen to his podcast.
Yeah, I've listened to his podcast.
His podcast is hilarious the whole time.
Yeah, him just answering emails.
It's hilarious.
Oh, my God. Just roasting people. It's awesome.
Oh, man.
And he's one of my favorite guests on Joe Rogan's, too.
Yeah,
he makes Joe Rogan crack up.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
It's the best. I love when he brings comedians on with them.
Yeah. But, no, that episode was great. Although, okay, so if I'm gonna be nitpicky about weak points, in that Bill Burr episode, the girl that was in it with the,
I need to think of this like species of everyone. I need to like look up my.
She was
history.
fine as a character. I just didn't like the teeth thing she kept doing. Like,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, bitch, like you're not a vampire. Like, shut up. Like,
I
why
mean,
are
but
you
I think that race. That
yeah, maybe they
form-
do it as an
yeah.
intimidation thing or whatever. But I just thought it was kind of
Yeah,
yeah.
that's kind of nitpicky. That is nitpicky.
That is very nitpicky. But it was an amazing shit. Like I said, I can't find any
I
weak.
find like big thing. Yeah,
Every character was great. Like I have spoken. Oh my god, what's his name? Queel. Queef? I don't know. Whatever his name is. Quill. And Nick Nolte did the voice of him, which is amazing.
I mean, I think the writer directors, like I think they did such a good job with like overall, like you really can't find too many weak points in the middle and their history, like their facts on other movies and other Easter eggs they're grabbing.
Yeah, for
I thought
sure.
all of that was like perfect too.
Yeah, what I loved about this series the most is it's a Star Wars story that's easy to follow.
Yeah.
And that's not saying everything in it you know. We don't know where little baby Yoda comes from.
Yeah. I mean, we know like he came from.
Yeah. What I'm saying is the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
main
you don't
character,
know, yeah.
he doesn't know.
No.
He doesn't even know what the Jedi is.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He doesn't know where
'cause
this
that-
little kid is from.
Because at that point, that's the in between where like
Yeah.
no one really knows them until you
where
know.
like
so-
Luke is gone. Like Luke is in
That's already-
hiding.
yeah.
No, and he's pretty much the only Jedi around.
left. Well, technically,
Yeah.
you need to see like if you watch Rebels and stuff, you'll know the other.
Yeah, but
people
like
and-
you know what
yeah.
I mean. Like in terms of mainstream, like no one knows about Jedi
Yeah.
anymore. They're like legend.
Yeah.
You know.
They're like they're like a story.
But like in the TV show, we see everything through the eyes of the Mandalorian.
yeah,
He doesn't know about this stuff, and if you're a casual viewer just coming in, like you don't even need to have watched any Star Wars at all.
yeah,
Because they treat it as if you're a new, you know what I mean?
yeah.
They welcome
They
new.
welcome new people. I think that's what they were trying to do, is to revamp like Star Wars and bring in a new type of
Yeah, because
age
you
group.
don't. Yeah, it's easy to follow the story. He's a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what a bounty hunter is. He went on this one,
Mission.
job,
job.
and he didn't want to take the kid to
Well,
them
didn't
because he
wanna-
knew they were
yeah.
gonna kill him. And then he grows a soft spot for the kid, takes the kid with him. He
Yeah.
has some adventures here.
What
and
do you
there.
think?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think of the child using like the Force and everything?
Oh, I thought that was hilarious.
Isn't it
Super
hilarious?
cute.
You see the stuff that like.
and then he passes out after. It's
I'm
so
not gonna
funny.
lie, I was really thinking about getting the sideshow of like the life size because
Oh,
he
yeah.
wasn't like, for it being a life size figure, it wasn't expensive. Just to say that, oh yeah, I have a life size figure from Sideshow, and it's not like the huge ones. It's like actually the small,
Mm-hmm.
the child one. I don't know. I thought he was cool. I think I was very surprised. I thought that was great. The first episode was such a surprise to me.
Yeah, the little Baby Yoda premiere. But yeah, every episode was good. The overall narrative kept progressing, and then you had its own. Each episode had its
Story.
own story.
Yeah.
And it just all flowed together nicely. I really liked it. And then season 2.
Didn't I tell you it was so good though?
Oh, yeah, it was
It's so good.
But I do like in the end of season 1 though, we get Giancarlo Esposito as Moff Gideon.
You didn't watch all of Rebels, right?
No,
No.
but he is a character in Rebels, right?
Well,
Moff Gideon.
the Dark Saber.
The Dark Saber, yes.
He's
I
in
remember
Rebels.
seeing that in
Yes.
the series. I've never
In-
watched. Oh, sorry guys.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
I'm getting a call.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na.
Hey, you're on the podcast. Say hello.
I'm so sorry for interrupting.
Oh, that's okay.
I love how we get these calls.
Yeah. You're our first caller.
I wish I wasn't.
I wish I wasn't.
All right, I'll call you later.
Okay, bye.
All right.
That's great. Next Connor's going to be calling
I
me.
know, right?
Daddy?
So I remember seeing the Black Saber in the show, like when it first came out, because everyone
Yeah.
was talking about it online. So I saw a few pictures. I was like, "Yo,
It
that's a
looks
dope."
sick, yeah.
And then when he came out,
With it. And he turns
With
it
it.
on, yeah.
I was like, "Yo, that's
See,
dope."
it like you have now you see like I said, you didn't have to watch anything, and you still don't technically, but if you really want to get into like the story,
Yeah,
you got to
what's
watch
good.
Rebels. Like you don't
But that's
have
what's
to.
good about Mandalorian because you can watch it, standalone. You don't need any other Star Wars.
Because they're probably gonna update you on
things.
stuff anyway.
And you can just watch it, sit down, and enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But also, if you want to, they're like, hey, there's these other things that you might not know about. You can dive deeper into it.
Yeah, they definitely.
You know what I
trying to-
mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
And-
very welcoming.
I thought Rebels was so good too. So, and not a lot of people watched it. At least, like not like the hardcore fans, of course, watched it.
I
but,
just
like,
know my boy Freddie Prinze Jr. Does a voice on it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think he's the main character.
yeah. Puerto Rico. What's up?
Yeah, he's the main character.
For those who don't know, Freddie Prinze Jr. is Puerto Rican. Just so you know, his dad Freddie Prinze is like a legend.
Legend.
Puerto Rican legend actor. My mom, when I mentioned Freddie Prinze, she's thinking the dad. She's not thinking
Not
the
thinking
younger
the son,
Freddie Prinze
yeah.
Jr. Anyways, Rebels, continue.
Yeah, I think Rebel so that sword, the Darksaber, came from Rebels. You see it first in Rebels.
Yeah.
So as soon as we see it, right, like as soon as people that watched Rebels seen that, they're like, "Oh my god," because he wasn't the one that has the Darksaber after.
Who has it in Rebels?
It's a Mandalorian that has that. That's a Mandalorian sword. That's like a like just how like Mandalorian now is got all the armor, Boba Fett's armor back. Well, that's like a piece. That's a big piece of whoever has that Darksaber is initially like the leader, like technically the leader of the Mandalorian. So that's a big thing. So you remember how he was talking about in the end of the first season, like he's gone through like people, like when you see him in front of you, if he's coming after you, you're pretty much dead. So that, I don't know if that means he killed the person that had the last one from Rebels. I don't know. I hope they go into that a little bit into Rebels in the Mandalorian
hopefully.
story.
Hopefully. Oh man, what was it? I was gonna say something and I forgot.
Jeez.
No, Mandalorian. I thought it was great. I love his armor, and he's pretty much like the last one now.
Mandalorian, yes.
Yeah, I'm assuming that.
Technically,
the one that does the armor, the lady.
Yeah.
She really messed those stormtroopers up.
Isn't that so cool
Yo,
too?
she
Did you
messed
like
up.
how like the Mandalorian army came out and stuff? I thought that was cool.
that
I
was
thought
good.
they really. That was another really cool thing about the season one, that like no one, like you see so many new characters for a story that's already technically happened, because we've already seen 3 more movies after all of this. So I mean, Star Wars is just getting immersed so much more history into it. I love it.
So my question was, you've seen Rebels and stuff. Darth Maul is alive,
Yes, in Rebels, and he's a big key factor in Rebels.
and he has a brother.
Yes. Well, yes.
Is he dead?
Now I'm forgetting my Rebels
Did he
stuff.
kill his brother? I don't know. But I know he's alive and he has a brother.
Yeah.
So, and Star Wars Rebel is canon.
What do you mean? Now I'm confused. Now I can't think of.
It's canon. Like, it's part of the main
It's part of the
storyline.
main story. Yes.
It's not like a side.
No, it's
thing,
like Darth Maul is in Rebels. Like he is like a big key factor in Rebels to like with the main character, with there's a Jedi, actually another Jedi in Rebels. So a big Jedi person that I'm not trying to spoil it too much. I mean, some stuff I will, but some stuff I'll keep because I want people to watch Rebels. I thought Rebels was pretty good, so
Yeah.
I want
sure.
people to.
It's like a lot
I want
of,
people to watch it.
It's like a lot of TV shows I don't watch. It's not because I don't think it's good.
It's
just
hard to keep
don't.
up. Yeah, it just don't. I mean, you watch Mandalorian really fast and it was good, right?
Well, that's because it was only 8 episodes. So-
Not like 80.
and they weren't very long. It's like Game of Thrones. What, hour and a half episodes? I'm like,
Sometimes, yeah.
bruh.
Yeah. No, I know.
But the season 2, episode 1 was almost an hour.
That's what pretty much. It's 45 minutes to an hour for a
Oh,
Mandalorian episode.
season 1 had some episodes that were like 30
minutes. I know. I was so mad.
But Mandalorian season 1, to recap, it was great. I loved I Have Spoken, because I say that a lot. So I have spoken. No. And then This Is the Way. Such a good quote.
It's like one of the main quotes now everyone
It's like,
loves
this
using.
is the way.
Yeah.
It was great. Little baby Yoda. I love Bill Burr's character. I would love to see him come back in season 2.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Just
they
in an
did.
episode.
I think
or
they're gonna
something.
bring. I think this season they're bringing in more people, more
I
actors.
loved to see Gina Carano as I forgot her name, but she was the badass
the
girl.
bounty hunter, technically. Not
Yeah.
bounty hunter, but she was hiding.
Yeah, she was badass.
Now you're gonna make me
She was
look
in
things up.
Deadpool.
Yep. She was a villain in Deadpool.
Yeah, she's an actual fighter too. That's why she's
Yeah,
so badass.
I think that's why it's.
But no, she was great in it. And honestly, when I saw her in Deadpool, she really like her acting chops weren't all there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was kind of like, and she was in.
Cara Dwayne.
Yeah, she was in one
That's
of
the name for that she was in.
Yeah, Dwayne. Yeah, she was in one of the Fast and Furious movies. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
she was.
And still, even in that movie and in Deadpool, her acting chops were. This, I was like, okay, she's an actress
can
now.
act.
Like she can
do-
act
yeah.
now.
She was in a lot of actually good movies. Blood and Bone. She was in.
Yeah, so now I'm like, okay, she's good. She's definitely gonna be back for season 2. And my boy Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, that's my guy. Yo.
Some actors I just look at and I think of the character. That's it, and that's
I
all
see
I can
him,
see.
I'm like, oh, Apollo Creed. You know?
And then I think of like Predator.
Yeah, and Predator.
Like Predator.
But no, he was great in it too. I'm glad. Honestly, when they were in the shootout in the last episode, I thought he was gonna sacrifice himself so they can escape.
Well, I think if I'm correct, they were he wasn't going to be in more of the episodes. He was only going to be in a couple. So, and I guess I think they liked his story so much that they kept him in the season, and they're keeping him as a person now, like as a regular.
Yeah, no, he
He
was great. in it.
I think when you watch the extras, they'll get into that, saying that
yeah.
he's going to be in more.
I
episodes.
thought in that shootout he was gonna go out there and distract them and get shot while they escape, but
Nope.
no, they ended up escaping. And then the droid is the one that
Yeah,
sacrificed himself.
which I thought was really cool.
I thought it was cool how the droid took off his helmet. I knew, at least in the last episode, okay, eventually his helmet's coming off.
Yeah. You just don't know when.
I knew if
But it's a droid, so
it's a droid,
so it doesn't.
and I
count.
knew it was like he was like no life form. I knew the droid's gonna be like, I'm not a life form.
Yeah.
And the droid took it off to help him save him. And then you see Pedro Pascal, from Game of Thrones apparently, and that was a cool moment. Now I'm watching this with my girlfriend, and the whole time, like, I told her who the actor is.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, it's Pedro Pascal that's playing the Mandalorian." She's like, "Oh," she didn't know who it was, even though she's seen Game of Thrones, but she didn't know the actor's name.
Yeah.
So she's literally watching all 8 episodes,
And I have no idea who it is.
building up this like hot guy.
And
She's
it's
like,
him.
"Oh, he's so bad at like she likes like John Bernthal, who plays the Punisher. She
Yeah,
likes that
yeah.
badass,
She likes that
like
guy,
gritty
yeah.
kind of look.
Yeah. And then you
I
see
don't know
him.
why she dated me, but she's building up this like, oh man, he sounds so hot, like he's so badass.
Yeah.
this
And then you
that.
see that.
And then he takes off his helmet, and she's like, oh,
It's him. She got something.
she didn't recognize him. She
That's
still
good.
didn't
She was
know
like,
it was him.
"Aw."
Because he's like, he's all messed up and
Messed
bloody
up.
and
Yeah,
sweaty,
yeah.
and
You
his
can't
hair's
really-
all,
Yeah.
messed up. So she's like,
Not a good
"Oh,
first
hmm."
impression.
Immediately, she texts her friend like, "Oh my god, I built up this hot guy in my head, and this is what I get." She's probably gonna kill me for telling people this, but
Oh well.
But then
Everyone in the world is
yeah.
gonna see this now.
then I looked up Pedro Pascal,
Yeah.
and I showed her. And she was like,
Oh, he
and
was, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, he was in Game of Thrones. She's like, who did he play? And then I looked up the pictures from Game of Thrones. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh, he was hot in that. What happened? I'm like,
I mean, because you see him bloodied and
yeah,
battered
he was
after a
bloodied
battle.
and beat up. But I thought that was a cool moment when the droid took his helmet off to help him. And then later on, when the droid was like, I'm going to have to sacrifice myself, and Mandalorian wasn't trying to have it.
Yeah.
He finally, was like caring for a droid finally.
Yeah, which is something, yeah.
And he wasn't about droids. And then the droid was like, it's okay, you don't need to be sad. He's like, I'm not sad. He's like, I'm a nurse droid now. I can sense that you're sad.
You're
I can,
sad,
I can
yeah.
see it in your voice patterns. And then he goes and he
Yeah.
sacrifices himself. I thought that was pretty cool. And then they escape and they do the whole thing. But
Do you like that they only released one episode? Or are you like
I do. I've always been big on the weekly
weekly
episodes,
update?
like from a fan standpoint and also from a production standpoint, because I've said this about the Netflix shows, like Stranger
well,
Things.
Netflix is starting to do certain things.
They should
like that,
do it
yeah.
like that. But Stranger Things, as an example, let's say, when they release Stranger, how many episodes of Stranger? 10?
Like 10 to 12, yeah, about.
So they drop all 10
All 10.
episodes.
Dude, I binged that shit so fast.
Everyone binges it. It's the talk
And
of
then that-
online
for like a week.
For like a week.
Yeah.
And then no one's talking about
Yeah,
it.
because it's true. Like I like I'm both, like I'm on both sides where like I like binging, but I don't mind that they're doing weekly because it just the anticipation for the next episode just keeps ramping up until then.
And from a production standpoint, it keeps your show the talk of the town.
The talk of the town, yeah, exactly.
That's what everyone's
Well, that's
talking
what
about.
it is.
Every week they're talking about it. Same.
Oh, then did you watch the new episode? Yeah.
Game of Thrones, same thing. Every week,
Yeah.
everyone was talking about it.
it.
Breaking Bad, Walking Dead, all of it.
Yeah.
Every week.
Well, that's why
everyone's
those
talking about
shows were so big. You know what it is? I think streaming service for Netflix was here first, so everyone enjoyed that you can binge right away.
Yeah,
those
yeah.
receipts. But now I think even Netflix sooner or later is going to have to change that because even some shows they did only once a week too, but those ratings got so bad for that show, so they stopped doing
it.
it.
Yeah, it depends on the show, but I mean, this show, man,
I think
it works.
shows like Stranger Things, they could have definitely done that. Ozark, they definitely could have done that. Like those are the shows that they could have done one week episode and.
For sure.
But I know a lot of people that would be upset if they did one week
But
episodes.
some work as dropping them all, like, and I'm sure all of those ones work story wise because they film it in a way that you do binge. Like Daredevil,
Yeah.
the episode ends. The next episode is literally right when that one ends, and it picks up from there.
Yeah.
So it works in that sense, but
Mandalorian I think it works perfectly for weekly because of that, like what we were saying, because it like there's little stories into that big broad
each episode
story.
it's its own thing. They don't all flow together perfectly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Which that's why I think it is perfect for the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
That's why I don't mind
for
it.
sure.
It definitely makes me want to watch the show more though. Like if they were to say, "Oh, we're just gonna drop all the episodes," I'd be like, "Okay," like I'd be fine with that too.
because I binged it all because obviously
binged
by the
season
time
one,
by the time I watched it, they were all there.
Yeah.
And it was like I watched 2 or 3 episodes one day and then another 2 or 3, but once all these other Disney Plus shows come out, I'm pretty sure they're going to stick to that.
Weekly, yeah. I think that's like the big thing for Disney Plus. I think they're trying to do that is like do the weekly thing. Hi, Roxy. Do the weekly thing.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't mind it. Disney Plus, I think, still has a little bit of a way to go for their streaming service because they're a year old now, right?
About, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's only been about a year.
I think
because I think
about a
COVID
year.
messed everything up for us, so we're so off our time. But I think it's about a year. It's been out, right?
Yeah.
So, because Mandalorian season 2 just came out, so that's when the series first started was when Disney Plus started. So,
True. This is true.
so it's already been almost a year, maybe a year and a half, maybe a little more. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's they still got a long way to go. I think with certain things. Like, I'm still waiting for the MCU shows to drop. Like, I want them to start bringing more.
Falcon
I want
and
them
Winter
to.
Soldier, bruh.
Like I like that there's old Disney movies on Disney Plus, but
Yeah.
they need to start dropping new stuff because I'm getting kind of like, okay. Like if it wasn't for Mandalorian right now, I wouldn't be using Disney Plus as much.
Exactly.
They need to start
definitely
dropping the new stuff.
to step it up with the original content. Meanwhile, Netflix just has an overflow
Of
original content.
But a lot of the original content's really good. Like I like a lot.
A lot of it's really good for sure. I'm not, but they have and then they have a lot of foreign stuff too, which I think is great for Netflix. They have like anyone can in the world, they'll find something in their language that's original too.
Yeah.
Like they have all the Spanish soap operas that my mom be watching
on Netflix. Yeah.
They have Korean dramas.
Which I watch some of this. Like there's a show that I watch 3%. That's in Portuguese.
They have Portuguese.
And like that's why I watch that. I watch that show. It just finished actually.
So much Bollywood on there.
Yeah.
So much. They have stuff in Sweden from Sweden. It's so much stuff.
Did you watch Ragnarok actually from Netflix?
Ragnarok?
It's about Thor. About like Thor, Odin. It's about all that. It's really good actually.
Nice. I think I remember seeing it. And
it's in a different. It's in subtitled. Yeah. That was a really good show too.
But no, that's
I think definitely Disney Plus will be moving into when they bring out more original content.
But season 2 of Mandalorian episode 1 ended with the reveal Boba Fett.
Yes.
Still alive. What do you think is gonna happen with that?
I mean, they're gonna see each other. Yes. But now technically he can't wear that armor.
because
he's, remember how when you say like you take off your helmet and someone sees you, you're not a Mandalorian. No, I don't know if it wasn't like you're not a Mandalorian
how do
anymore.
we know anyone saw him? He could have been in exile this entire time.
That's true. He could have just stayed away. But when the Mando sees him, he technically won't. So unless he just steals his suit.
What if he covers his face?
Yeah, it steals his suit. I don't know. That's one thing I don't know. I'm not like. That's why I said I'm not perfect at this.
My big thing is.
There's ways around it.
No, well, my big thing with just him, is he a friendly or is he going to be an enemy?
Like enemy him.
Because he can. First of all, they got to explain what he's been doing this entire time.
Yeah.
Because since I'm assuming it's been a good amount of time since he's, died. So they got to explain what he's been doing this whole time. Has he been doing his own like bounty hunting, like as a gun for hire or something like that, just without his armor and stuff, or just in exile, And when he does end up crossing paths with Mando, is it going to be a friendly encounter? Is it going to be like, yo, bro, you got my armor?
Or give me the armor.
I mean, it's going to be like, yo,
because they're technically not. They're technically not. I don't know if they're friendlies. Like, you know how like season 1 where Mando was like they were like, some people liked him, some people didn't, from like that culture, the Mando culture. I don't know how that's gonna play out with him and Boba. I definitely think Boba's gonna be an enemy at first though. I think it would make sense.
You think Boba's gonna be an enemy?
Yes, at first. It has to. I think it would, because he's like, why are you taking my armor? But then technically it's his right to take it because of him, because of the other actor not being Mandalorian. So makes sense. But I don't know. I don't even think it's going to happen for like another episode. Maybe 2.
No, I mean, it is possible. 'Tis possible. But I really like The Mandalorian, and I'm looking forward to next week's episode. Or this Friday, I guess, and then we'll talk about it next week.
I was about to say, today's election day.
Election day, make sure you go out and vote. And if you don't want to, then that's your right as well.
So yeah, this Friday it's going to be, I'm definitely going to watch Mandalorian. If not that Friday, definitely Saturday.
Nice.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I think I love how they did The Mandalorian. Like, everyone's been wanting an origin film for Boba Fett, but I think this was the better choice. Just having an original character that is similar, to Boba Fett and the Bounty Hunter. It just goes into the whole, origin of the actual Mandalorians. And I think that's great. Speaking of origins, I presented a question to you the other day, and the question was, who do you think of all comic book villains deserves their own solo origin film?
All right. I said... All right. So my first one, because, I'm a Power Ranger fan, it does definitely have to be the origin of either the Green... Well, it's technically the same person, but the evil Green Ranger, which you have pictures on, or Lord Dracon from the comic book.
So go a little bit more into Lord Dracon, because I haven't read that.
Okay, so yeah, that's another thing you have to start doing is reading comics, certain comic series. So he is essentially Tommy, just in another reality. So Power Rangers has a multiverse, basically, like the MCU. It has a multiverse.
Looks pretty badass in that picture, I'll tell you.
That's actually the real actor, Jason David Frank. He actually did a real photo shoot for like that, which, of course, the picture I chose was horrible. But I actually have the comic, actually, that he had for that.
That suit is dope.
If you look you could look a better one on Google. I mean,
that suit is amazing.
Yeah, or the original Green Ranger. There's a evil Green Ranger. If you watch the series, which a lot of people have, you get an origin story of basically Lord Dracon's the bigger origin, I think, because everyone knows how he becomes the Green Ranger.
Yeah, sure.
But it's more of like, I basically want them to make a movie or a show of.
Now that's what Shattered Grid it's called.
Well, that storyline was called Shattered Grid. Yeah, and it's basically from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series that literally just ended on issue 55.
Nice.
Which is going into a brand new series, which is coming out tomorrow.
Nice. I think they should do a Shattered Grid series.
I think they are, because of how when remember we were talking about this like a week or two ago, about their Hasbro, I think, is the one that dropped it, saying that they want to have they're gonna reboot the movie, and they're gonna potentially make it like an MCU multiverse. So the shows and the movie are gonna be all together.
It could work.
If you read the comic, it really can, because it's so different.
Comics is one thing, but making it work on screen, whether it be TV or movies, is a lot more difficult. Is it possible? Yes.
It definitely is possible.
Absolutely
as we can
possible.
See from the MCU.
That's not a fair comparison. MCU's comic book characters are well-established characters.
That's true. But if you go...
If it wasn't for the well-established characters already, they wouldn't be able to do Guardians of the Galaxy or an Ant-Man.
No way.
You know what I mean?
No. But if you start with the right mechanics...
That's what I'm saying. It could work.
It could work, because I actually liked the movie that came out in 2017.
I thought it was
great. I thought it was great. There was a couple things that I didn't like, but that's also because I'm a nitpick fan for that.
You didn't like Kimberly and...
Rocky, yeah, no, Rocky,
Jason,
yeah, I didn't like that. That was very upsetting to me. But they didn't even show it in the movie.
Did they not?
No, remember, because in the previews that shows them kissing. Or almost kissing. Yeah, and then in the movie, they cut it because they knew, I think people were going to freak out like me. I would have freaked out.
But no, the movie was good.
I thought
was
the movie
excited
was
for the sequel.
Yeah. And then it just didn't do good in the box office. Not good enough. Yeah. Which I wasn't surprised. I think Power Rangers has such a low audience that it's just... I think if they did the comic story...
I think they should stay away from movies, is what I think.
No, it's so good though. We didn't even get to see
It's good for you.
I know, for me, because I'm a
and other diehard Power Ranger fans.
I know.
But that's not enough for a movie audience.
Yeah. I think if...
they do a short series...
Six
to 8 episodes.
Netflix show or a Disney. Yeah, definitely.
With a dope original story like Shattered Grid or something that people haven't seen before. Like not the normal Power Rangers, pow pow, transform, big monster fight. No. Story.
Well, if you read the comic, it has such a good story.
No, and I agree. And it works on the comic, but a lot of times people see these characters, Power Rangers, kids, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, we want that on screen, and they just focus on the flashiness of it and big fights.
I think they monsters. I think they need to stop going for the kid audience though. Now, when it comes to the older one,
I don't think they should stop with the kid audience. I just think they should broaden the audience,
because if you were to read the comics, they actually go in depth with how they feel, how the Rangers feel. Yeah, they actually do character development in the comic.
And I think that's good. And I don't think you should stay away from the kid audience, because
not stay
MCU
away,
is perfect for kids, but it's also perfect for adults. You know what I mean?
Just get basically what I'm asking is, I think Disney should buy out Hasbro so they can
same thing
take
with
the property over.
Well, but with Mandalorian, Star Wars is a mainly kids franchise, but adults love it too.
But back then,
it's always been a kids franchise. There's no question ever.
I don't think so.
It's according to Freddie Prinze Jr. Okay?
Yeah.
It is a kids franchise.
The animated show.
And no, all of it. Star Wars.
I don't feel back then the kid audience was totally different than the kid audience today.
Either way, it's a kid audience.
Oh my God. I don't know. What they put on TV now is not what they put on back then, because I was just watching shows last night that from our time, and
it's a different time. But either way, it's
technically
a kid franchise.
They just changed it to be this.
Yeah, it's a kid franchise. The whole point of it is to sell merchandise.
Yeah,
they want to sell toys.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah, Hasbro, and I think Hasbro is. I'm buying the new stuff that's coming out, and I'm an adult. there's like the figures that Hasbro's come out with. They came out. It's called the Lightning Collection for the Power Rangers, and they're making money off it because they're re-releasing. And
like I said, it's a kids franchise, but it just because it's a kid franchise doesn't mean you can't also broaden it to have a larger audience.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what they did successfully with the TV show Mandalorian. MCU's done successfully, and I'm sure they're going to continue to do successfully with their TV shows that are coming soon.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they also established those ones. They're really
they're established with the movies, but you know, they're going to make it work on the small screen as well.
Screen, yeah.
But I think Power Rangers, the franchise, I know they announced they're going to do the movie and TV show and have them both integrated. In my opinion,
they shouldn't do it.
They should not do the movie yet.
Yeah.
Keep it small, 6 to 8 episodes on either Netflix or Hulu. I don't care which
platform.
It could be Peacock. I don't care.
No, isn't Peacock just got bought out?
By who?
Didn't like Comcast just buy them out or something? Because now you can watch it on someone bought Peacock out.
I got it for free through Comcast.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Peacock got bought out or something.
They have the original content. It's still Peacock.
Yeah,
it's by NBC. They still have original content. Like
I mean,
the Saved by the Bell reboot.
Yeah, if they do that, if Peacock ends up doing a Power Rangers show, I would buy. I would start watching Peacock more.
Peacock's fine. It has a lot of good stuff on there, but they should stick 6 to 8 episodes. Instead of the budget for the big movie you're gonna do, that's an hour. Keep that budget for those 6 to 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Really focus on the story, and they like to use a lot of the budget for special effects and this and that, but no, keep it small. Use your special effects. Use practical effects. Use it for the stunt work, for the fight scenes.
Yeah.
Make it some really like Daredevil was. It's a small budget, but those fight scenes, amazing, amazing fight scenes. And the story was great. Just focus story, the fight scenes, stunt coordination, all that stuff. It can be such a great series. But the first thing is the story.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they do the story. Sorry about texting. I am actually talking to my comic book girl because I get my comic books at Newberry Comics as well. And Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 1 is coming out tomorrow. So she's sending me all my covers that I'm getting in.
Nice.
So, yeah, they... when they do decide to do all these, I definitely want them to do an origin story of Lord Drakkon. Like, you need to. I think he's so big in the comic. He became such a big villain in this show, and in the comic book, that they need to.
So what I was thinking
next
was this guy. Wow, the pictures you chose are not great.
Well, what do you want me to do? All right. Wow, and it was a small one. Woohoo!
All the pictures you chose.
All the pictures are small.
Anyways,
Doctor Doom.
That's who I think should be it. Dr. Doom.
They need a villain. Yeah, he definitely. That's definitely a big villain. I think that. Well, I think we won't get a big origin movie when he first shows up.
No, I don't think so. But I think he's a villain that deserves an origin movie, and it could work with him because other. So, do you think these villain movies though are the origin villain? Like these origins, do you want them to come before or after they are introduced? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to you as long as they make a movie on just this villain?
No, and I'm not saying they should right now.
No, because they still need to introduce...
This could be 40, 50 years from now. I don't care. I just think these are certain villains that deserve a origin solo film, and it could work. No. Dr. Doom has an interesting backstory with his home country. He's essentially Iron Man. He's Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Just not as flashy. And is a villain instead of the hero. He's essentially the same dude.
Yeah. They
I don't like he was in the original Fantastic Four movie, and they tied his origin together with the Fantastic Four, which isn't accurate.
That's different. I mean, you can't really.
He didn't have powers put on him. No, he's a smart dude, and he created his armor, and he's a tech guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He used to send out these little tiny nano robots and stuff to go attack. You know what I mean? He's a tech. He's an engineer kind of type.
And they didn't show that. But, I mean, there's a lot of things those movies didn't show.
Yeah, and then the new Fantastic Four, oh, God. One of the worst movies ever made.
I think I've never... I literally was almost falling asleep in the movie. It was just so bad.
It was awful. I didn't like it at all. But Doctor Doom could work.
Doctor Doom's another one.
It could really work. And then the one I really would love to see...
The Prowler. Here's the Spideyverse one. Why are these pictures so small? Wow. Yeah. Don't trust me to look for Google Images or any kind of images on people because that's very small.
The Prowler, he made his debut as his normal self, Aaron Davis.
Yes.
In Homecoming. Childish Gambino.
Childish Gambino.
Mr. Donald Glover.
Which I would love if they kept him.
Yeah, for sure.
If they, I thought that was great. I think he can act. I've seen any movie that he's in, he does a really good job on his part. And he has small spots, but he's known. So I think seeing him move, like I think that would be cool.
See
I would
him
like
as Lando Calrissian and Han Solo.
That was awesome. I thought he was one of the best things in that movie.
Yeah,
so
for sure. But no, him as the Prowler would be cool. Thing is, the way he played it in Homecoming
was very not Prowly.
No, like because the Prowler's like a tech
person,
another villain.
One, yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's very precise. He's almost like he pretty much is like not an assassin for hire, but he's like a hired gun. Yeah. He's a hired gun.
Yeah.
And he's very tactical, almost like a ninja. He can just get into a place without being, you know what I mean? He's very smooth. The way Childish Gambino played him was just, just a casual kind of like criminal, not major criminal that's going to be hired by people. But I think he could turn into it.
Well, I think it was just a big Easter egg alone.
For sure. Just a little Easter egg. Yeah. And even the deleted scene, you saw the deleted scene, him on the phone. It's like, hey, Miles. Like, confirming all that. Mm-hmm. But I think he could turn into that.
I mean, we don't
and that could be his origin. He's literally just a common criminal. Then maybe he gets into some financial issues trying to help support his family, his nephew, all that. Turns into some more intense stuff, gets some training, becomes a good fighter, good with the tech, gets hired by the Kingpin or something. You know what I mean? Like it could work.
They definitely can make a movie with him.
He's great, and his suit is so cool.
Yeah,
His suit is pretty.
He has
dope.
a pretty cool suit.
Into the Spider-Verse, his character died, so he's not going to be in the sequels or anything. But live action,
he can definitely be in it.
He could definitely have his own origin film. I think it'd be pretty dope. What are some other villains you think could have their own origin film?
Maybe it's so tough because there's so many villains I want to see that I can't really think of if they would be good for a movie of like their origin. Mm-hmm. I mean, I want to see another origin of Doc Ock.
Ooh, yeah, Doc.
But he's been introduced already into the other movies. But I feel like there's just a lot of the Spider-Man villains. I mean, I see the poster of the Sinister Six behind you, so that's another thing why I'm looking at them. But there's so many good villains, but I can't see. I don't have a big list because I can't see them make a solo movie. I don't know. I can't think of them to be introduced.
Yeah. So X-Men First Class originally started out as X-Men Origins Magneto.
Yes.
Because they did X-Men Origins Wolverine. Ugh. And then they were like, okay, now we're going to do X-Men Origins Magneto.
Which I thought was decent.
Which it was like, oh, okay, that's a great character to do an origin story for. He has such a good backstory. And it's a tragic one.
Yeah.
And it's a historical one. And then it eventually turned into just X-Men First Class, and they added Charles Xavier in there, and then a whole, pretty much it was just the origin of
Magneto.
The X-Men.
Was a really good one, yeah.
But if the MCU wants to do another Magneto one,
I'd be down with that, Magneto.
Just their own Magneto. Now, this question was brought up, and we were talking about it a long time ago. I don't know if you remember, but with the MCU now acquiring Fox and they have the rights to the X-Men again, obviously X-Men being introduced into MCU is a thing. Now, you can't really have X-Men without Magneto.
Yeah.
However, given that in the MCU, they're currently in the year 2023.
Yep.
Spoiler alert. Time travel.
No,
well, the whole 5-year skip and all that.
Yeah.
They're in the year 2023. Now, Magneto's backstory is that he is a Holocaust survivor. The Holocaust was in the 40s.
Yeah, so
almost everyone who was in the Holocaust is dead now.
Yeah, that's
especially in the year 2023. Sadly, they've all passed away by now.
Yeah.
I don't think
Do you think
There's
they
probably some still alive, but they're like what 90s now.
imagine having a Magneto actor being like 95?
So like it's hard to have Magneto and
So-
have the same backstory, but it just doesn't make sense time wise.
Do you think? I mean, is there any? I mean, I can't think of any way.
So some things that people proposed was either the whole he took a serum to make him young. Yeah, it's like kind of like a cop out. But the most interesting one that people brought up was have him be either like African American or something of the sort, and instead of the tragic like Holocaust, his backstory is actually oppression in either during the civil rights movement in the United States, or have him be from one of those African nations that had some serious stuff and there was mass killings there, like genocide in a lot of those countries.
That I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
so
mind
a
that.
lot of people going back to Mandalorian, Giancarlo Esposito,
Yep.
who played Moff Gideon, people
Would
were
be-
saying he would be a great Magneto.
Dude, he plays so many good villains.
He would be
If he got casted for
amazing.
Magneto, that would be amazing. I think because he plays so many good villains.
He's smooth. He's just like
they were-
my.
But this is just rumored. There's no like.
No, yeah, they don't
there's
know what they're doing.
They don't
yet.
know what they're doing. I
But-
don't even think Marvel knows what they're doing.
But I know a lot of the hardcore comic book. Oh, it's not accurate to the comic book.
No, but that stuff doesn't
But
bother
it's
me.
like-
You got to change it to the time.
Yeah, you got to change the times as long as it makes sense.
We said that last week in
You know
last
what I
week's
mean?
episode.
You have
need to change.
Giancarlo Esposito play it, and let's say he's African American, and when he was a young man, he was treated. Let's say maybe his parents got lynched down south or something.
Yeah.
That was a real historical thing that
Yeah.
happened to a lot of African Americans.
So that
and it's super sad, and that can really drive his force to really not like humans.
Yeah.
And let's say, maybe his parents were lynched being African American, but also like maybe some mutant stuff was going, because that's the whole thing
Yeah.
with mutants started in the
Another-
comic book. Stan Lee did it,
yeah.
a way to represent, whites and African Americans, how African Americans were treated badly, and that's the parallels he had with mutants being the minority. And he had Charles Xavier, who was more the Martin Luther King kind of vibe, and Magneto was more the Malcolm X kind of vibe. And that's how he came up with the X-Men. So I think, honestly, it's like you're going to the real original source material there.
I think another way they can do it too, which I'd be fine with that. I would love him as an actor. They can also do do you think that they're going to use the multiverse? Like whatever happens in Doctor Strange,
Yeah,
what happened
that's
in
another
WandaVision,
thing. We got to figure out what's going on with
because
that.
if they do that, they can technically the X-Men can come from another universe, and the time year there can be a different. So they can do that. I can see them doing that first.
Yeah, it's possible.
I mean, because
I do like Michael Fassbender as Magneto. He did an amazing
I thought
job.
he did a great job. I liked him doing that. His portrayal of Magneto I thought was really good. I thought it was the best one we've seen. I mean, it was technically the only one we've really seen. Well,
Ian
Ian McKellen did really well too.
To me, he's the best one.
one. You think?
was-
I think they did so well with Michael Fassbender's story that makes it better for me. They go into his story more.
Yeah, I
I
agree,
think that's
but
what it is. They made an actual origin for
Sir Ian McKellen is like the man. This dude is like a
some big
legend.
parts. Yeah.
To me, he is Magneto, especially because he was older.
Yeah.
And
It worked out.
And
Him
him and
and-
Charles, and despite everything, Charles was still his best friend. Like
Yeah.
he's still, no matter what, he cared about Charles.
Yeah.
Even in that old age, with them just going at each other for decades.
Yeah. That's another villain. I think that it's going to be confusing because we just don't know. There's so many possibilities.
Oh yeah, the multiverse is one, just casting a different actor. But like I said, I don't think it would make sense to have the whole Holocaust backstory
No,
in the year they're at.
No, it wouldn't.
MCU.
It
Another
wouldn't.
thing they could do is just not have Magneto,
That's stupid.
or maybe or
That's
not-
really
not,
dumb. I can't see
Not
that.
just like he doesn't exist, but maybe like he's already passed away. You know what I mean? Like
that's another route they can go, but I hope not. Magneto's such a cool character.
No, yeah, I agree, it is, but that's another thing they can do. I mean, MCU hasn't failed us so far.
I don't think they're gonna fail us for anything.
So introducing the X-Men, I'm sure
Yeah.
they're gonna do it right.
We'll see. The next villain I said was Loki.
Ooh.
He needs a real origin story.
So he
Technically-
has the series coming out on Disney
Yes.
Plus. However,
which
I
we
don't
still
think,
have nothing that we know
Yeah,
nothing
we
about.
literally
We
know
just
nothing.
know that he has the Tesseract and he's
but yeah, that's not gonna be necessary. Maybe they do some flashbacks in that to his origin. They could.
maybe. But I want a legit origin story of Loki of like
Yeah, no,
when he was a
sure.
baby, because like they do go into it in the movies with Thor.
Yep. In the first.
In the
movie.
first one, how he's not Asgardian, but I want more backstory to it. I feel like he deserves it, and Tom Hiddleston playing Loki was just
Yeah.
it's amazing, amazing.
Love me some Tom Hiddleston. He's awesome.
He so that's another villain for me. I can't think of too many. There's not like other than like DC, I have no idea. I'm sorry. I'm not the biggest DC fan.
DC does have some good villains. I was thinking Lex Luthor, and having him have his own soul, not Jesse Eisenberg. Ugh, awful.
That technically wasn't Lex Luthor.
Whatever.
That technically, sorry.
Yeah, people. Oh, it was actually Lex Luthor Jr.
Yeah.
That's like saying, oh, it's Michelle Jones, MJ. It's
Yeah, that's another
what you
thing.
present to me is MJ, and I'm gonna say no. Screw you guys. That's what you're presenting to me. Then yeah, but no. So Lex Luthor, you get a nice actor to play him. You get his origin in there. Pretty much him going through childhood, teenager, young adult, descending into evil genius. Lex Luthor, who pretty much wants to run the world. I think that would be a great origin film.
I mean, Lex Luthor, I think, is always going to be the big villain of DC, for at least for Superman, of course.
Yeah, in DC, it's literally like Joker, Lex Luthor. Those are the big.
Now, did you like Joker's origin that they made?
I did. I liked it.
I didn't mind it.
I
It was
thought
okay.
the only and I've talked to people
Killing
about
Joke.
this is they took a lot of influence from the Killing Joke as well.
Yeah.
But was it a great origin film? Absolutely. For that Joker.
Yeah, for that Joker, yeah.
Because Joker, as we know, doesn't have an origin. And also in the comic books that are out right now, there are 3 Jokers.
Yeah.
Which I got to read that one because that one looks really good.
Looks all confusing.
Oh, yeah, for
People
sure.
are so confused. They're like, who the hell is this?
But with Joaquin Phoenix, the only thing I would say about it was, and I think I've told you this before, is he's not the criminal mastermind Joker.
That we see from that movie, at least.
It's like, yeah, sure, he ends up being a bad guy by the end of the movie. Spoiler alert.
I mean,
But
like,
he's the way his character is, and the Fletcher, right, is his name.
you can see him damaged. That's kind of like the thing.
But I don't see that character
progressing.
becoming an intelligent criminal mastermind. You know what I mean? Heath Ledger's Joker,
Was like criminal. Yeah.
sure, he comes off as insane and this and that, and yeah, he is. But he's very careful and calculated. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to manipulate the mob and get this and get that and pretty much end up running everything. And his plans, like, everything's according to plan.
Yeah.
Going according to plan. So I don't see Joaquin Phoenix as that Joker. I just see him as a Joker. But
I can see his Joker at least. If I can see them moving his story into something else, but I can also see him being more of the insane Joker, like causing a little more havoc more than, because look at like what he did with like everyone rioting, all those masks.
he didn't mean to do
He
that.
didn't mean to do it, but now that he's seen that he has the influence, I think he could definitely.
I don't think he's smart enough.
You don't think so?
He's not
it's just
portrayed
crazy.
as a smart guy.
No, I know.
You know, he's had a lot of child abuse and trauma, and I don't think he's not an intellect. Not to say that all the Jokers are intellects, but they have a certain amount of smarts to them where they know how to carefully, like, calculated incite right. They know what's gonna incite riots. Right. They know what's gonna, make an impact. You know, I don't see Joaquin Phoenix is Joker as that Joker. And maybe because there's rumors that they are going to do a sequel. I don't know. We'll see. But
Did you overall like the movie at least?
oh, I loved the movie. I thought it was great.
I thought it was a good movie. I know like Melissa and Eddie, my sister and her husband, they didn't they liked it, but they said they thought it was overrated. A lot of people. I
don't think it was overrated at all. I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was all right.
Well,
I thought the acting was amazing.
Thing is, it didn't win Best Picture, so it's not like it was. It's not like it won Best Picture.
Best Picture, yeah.
I think it was nominated, which I think it deserved to be nominated. It was one of the best films of the year. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But like people use the word overrated a lot, but it's like no, I think that to me was rated just fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't underrated. It wasn't overrated. It's like great film, one of the best films of the year. No doubt, Joaquin Phoenix's performance was amazing.
Yeah.
And definitely deserved to win Best Actor based on everyone he was going against. But, you know, I don't think it was overrated. Yeah. But, yeah, everyone was talking about it online. And I think that's why people think, oh, everyone's talking about it. It's like, not, you know. But it's like that's what online social media is. People talk about what's hot right now.
Yeah.
No one's talking about it right now.
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
It's been over a year. But no, it was good. I thought it was rated just fine, and it was one of the best films of 2019. There's no, you can't say it wasn't at least top 10 best films of 2019 up there with Endgame.
Yeah.
I thought Endgame should have been nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah,
that's
nuts. Yeah.
A lot of people were pushing for Robert Downey Jr. to get nominated for.
I wanted him to get nominated for the performance that he did. I think it's because I wanted him to get it because of all the performances he's done over the years with MCU.
All culminating to that ending in that last movie.
Yeah.
I don't think he could have won.
No.
Because because it would have been, to me, it would have been supporting, because that's an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
So it definitely would have been supporting actor, but he still, to me, wouldn't have won. But it would have been nice to see him nominated, at least.
All right. I have one more villain.
Who's your villain?
No one really knows about him unless you read the comic.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Ooh.
So
you think he's ready for his own solo?
Hell yeah. By the way, his comics are booming up right now. Do you see, his story, so basically Null is the Lord of the Symbiotes.
Yes,
he created.
I know.
I'm just talking to the listeners.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He created the symbiotes, a planet. He was trapped in the planet.
Yeah.
But do you think, I think in maybe 10 years when he becomes
10 years, Jesus Christ.
All right, listen.
I say you can make a movie by the hype.
No, I'm sorry. He is not anywhere close to being a household name.
Not a household name, but I definitely
people
think
who
they can
read
introduce
comic books
know
who he is. Yeah. But the number of people who read comic books now versus the 60s is way down.
I know, but I think he'd be an easy character to bring in, especially what they did with the Venom movie.
I think
they definitely already started the seed.
No, yeah,
planted
for sure.
The seed
Absolutely, in the Venom movie with Tom Hardy. And I think if they introduce him in the Venom movie, which is a broad audience, hardcores like us are going to be like,
oh my God, no. Yeah.
But
well, that was remember when they first announced Thanos? Some people knew.
And that's what I was going to mention.
Yeah.
So no one knew except for hardcores like us knew.
Oh my God, Thanos, the gauntlet.
They slowly built him up.
But
now everyone knows who Thanos is. He's memes all over the place. Now,
memed.
What they can do with Null, if these Venom movies are going to be integrated with the MCU, which is rumors that's pretty much what they're doing, especially with the Morbius movie and all that. He can be the next Thanos.
He can, but that's not right away.
That's the only way to really make him a household name.
But the MCU is not even thinking about Null right now anyway. At least I think if they do bring him in, he's not going to be a huge character like he is in the comic right now.
Disney owns Marvel.
I know. I don't
You
know.
what I mean?
I don't see them doing him right away. I would love them to
I don't
do
see him having an origin film
for a long time.
like in 50 years.
I mean,
Like,
but he
would it be an interesting origin film?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. No doubt about that.
Because I think after Spider-Man, the other name people think about is like symbiote, Venom. Like this is such a big character. I think they need to. I think it's because
the movie did well.
Yeah, the movie did well.
Very well.
I think that's also because Tom Hardy. He's a big actor.
Yeah,
I think
for
he
sure.
helped it a lot. But that was like my other villain. That I was like, oh, they couldn't really do it no like that. But I think it's also because of how much influence he's having on the comic book nation right now.
Which isn't a large nation. We have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You know, we got to say it how it is. The people who read comic books are not. I mean,
Can we fact check this? How many people read comic books? Do you think?
It's not a lot.
You don't think
Trust
so?
me.
I don't know. Maybe it's just
Nah,
me.
the numbers are not a lot. But you got to think about it this way. Newberry Comics is where you get your comic books, right?
Yeah.
The name comics is in their store
This is
name.
the store name.
How
Yeah.
big is their comic book section?
Every store is different, so you can't go by that. Because some stores have
I've been to a lot
God.
of Newberry Comics. Almost all of them have their comic book section. Let's just say is not the biggest section in their store.
But there's been some comic, like certain new beers. When I go into one, I can see what their big thing is because I'll see a whole area of just comic.
Yeah,
book.
they always have
Yeah.
an area for comic books, but it's never the
like
biggest. area
mine.
in their
Like
store.
mine is not the biggest for comics. It's not me and like
No,
3
yeah.
or 4 of the subscribers are probably the biggest. There's not that many big.
And I've been to a lot. You know, the North Shore Mall one.
Yeah.
This is all.
This is
places
all.
that people-
Yeah, this is no one's gonna
Massachusetts
know.
Places,
They were
but
in Mass, by the way, guys. We're not in
yeah,
like.
they're all in New England, and they open a few stores in New York now.
Yeah.
but it's not. They're mostly now, not when they first started, obviously, but mostly now. It's just apparel, clothing and apparel, and different
And,
brands like
yeah.
that.
or Pops. That's like
Yeah,
a huge
like
thing.
the
Some of the
Pops
stores
now
are in the
are-
Pops or the. So they getting a little more retro now. I've noticed that they're getting a little more retro.
Yeah.
With certain things.
But you know, sadly, the look at local comic book stores.
Oh yeah, no,
They don't do so well.
no.
You know what I mean?
Unless they're bringing a lot of retro stuff that people know about.
But a lot of the comic book stores I know, what they do well on is when they go online
yeah.
and they start, going live and doing auctions on Facebook, things like that.
eBay.
Those are where they
Facebook
make their
Live,
most money
that-
because now it's collectors.
yeah,
You know,
that going into it. Yeah,
how many kids are like every week are like
let's go get a new comic book,
after
guys.
school they're like comic books just came out.
Yeah.
Let's run to the store. You know,
No,
what I mean?
that's us.
Like
that's us.
they used to sell comic books at gas stations.
Yeah, I know.
Pharmacy everywhere.
Imagine, like,
you
seeing,
can
like-
get comic books now.
I would
You have
love-
to search for a place. That's why the people who read comic books, it's not a very large
No,
percentage of the nation.
I'd go back in time to get all the comics.
So I know, yes, Noel is probably one of the most popular characters
right now, but it's such a small fraction of like the
Yeah,
number.
but-
I know, but I think he would be a good villain to have an origin.
Would it be
story.
good? Yeah, absolutely.
think he would
I
be
don't
good.
think they're gonna
Do
do
it.
one.
No.
Maybe.
Or he'll be a sub villain. Like he'll be introduced, and it would be a smaller type.
But
thing.
I think the way they do it is build him up as the next Thanos.
Yeah, but we know that's not gonna happen. They're
Hey.
doing Kang, I think, right
Yeah,
now.
they're doing Kang maybe, but maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
Or they could do it like a Dormammu.
that sucked though, because he should have been in the movie more.
No, but he was the one pulling the strings. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah,
So-
but still, I wish he had a bigger part.
No, for sure. But Noel is cool. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what
So-
I mean? He's the guy, but definitely, I don't think he'll have a solo origin. Would it be cool? Yes. Maybe they could do an animated one.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Into the Spider-Verse style.
I don't know, man. It's kind of dark. No, it's kind of dark.
No, but just the animation style.
Yeah, yeah.
That animation style was dope. I love the way they animated that. But that could work.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true.
But like I said, but also like in 10 years, Noel could be on a whole nother level.
Yeah,
Look
we don't know. He just
Miles Morales, 2011 debuted?
Yeah.
And now 2018, he got his own movie.
Yeah.
7 years, he got his own movie.
Yeah.
And he's like a household name now. People
Yeah.
know who Miles is. So 10 years, you never know what's going on with Noel.
Yep.
But no, that's definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, so that's what's happening in the world of comic books. Woohoo! Yeah, that's pretty much it. So Nick, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me on Instagram, and my handle is Nicholas8392. NICHOLAS 8392.
Woohoo!
Woohoo.
So follow us, Nerd Sheet, everywhere: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Nerd Sheet. That's what it is. This is how we do. How we do. How we do. So yeah, we gotta watch a new episode of Mandalorian this week, and then we'll
Yes.
talk about it next week. And we're gonna do the thing here on Nerd Sheet: conspiracy theories. I just really like that sound effect. All right, folks, we'll see you next time.
Later.
Nerd Sheet.
Hello, everybody. This here is Roxy. Roxy would love for you to subscribe to the Nerd Sheet, because for every 100 subscribers, I will buy her another squeaky toy. Ain't that right, Roxy? So subscribe for Roxy.